According to the Surgeon General Richard Carmona, secondhand smoke, also known as environmental tobacco smoke, is a mixture of the smoke given off by the burning end of a cigarette, pipe, or cigar and the lungs of smokers. It is involuntarily inhaled by non-smokers and lingers in the air hours after a cigarette has been extinguished, and it can cause a wide range of adverse health problems. Non-smokers are more at risk for disease and infection because they are inhaling two hazardous forms of the smoke, whereas the smokers are only inhaling the mainstream smoke through a filter. So if non-smokers are receiving the consequences of smoke, why should we allow people to smoke in public and put others at risk? With problems such as lung cancer and heart disease, sudden infant death syndrome and respiratory infections, an increased amount of litter and fires, public smoking needs to be stopped before conditions get any worse. Cigarettes are the main cause of lung cancer and heart disease. They have several harmful toxins and poisonous chemicals. Cigarette smoke contains over 250 toxic chemicals, and 50 of them are known to cause cancer. A few of these cancer-causing chemicals are chromium, arsenic, lead, ammonia, and vinyl chloride. Some of the chemicals in cigarettes are used for embalming dead bodies, such as formaldehyde, and others are radioactive, like polonium-210. There are even some that are used in chemical weapons, such as hydrogen cyanide. These are only a small portion of the chemicals used in cigarette smoke. As these chemicals are deposited onto the lungs, they cause DNA damage, oxidative stress, and inflammation, all of which promote the creation of tumors. The inability of the body to repair such damage enables the tumor to multiply and grow into a malignant lung cancer tumor. Lung cancer is very difficult to detect at an early stage, and it is a hard disease to fight off. Heart disease is another condition associated with the harmful ingredients in tobacco. Secondhand smoke can act so quickly on the arteries that even a brief pass through someone else's smoke can endanger people who are already at a high risk for heart disease. The toxins cause decreased flow of oxygen to the heart, increased blood pressure, increasing heart rate, and increased blood clotting. Secondhand smoke is especially harmful to babies and unborn babies because it is known to cause sudden infant death syndrome and respiratory infection. Sudden infant death syndrome is the sudden, unexplained, unexpected death of an infant before age 1. It has been linked to the changes in the brain and the lungs that affect how adequately a child breathes. During pregnancy, many of the chemicals found in secondhand smoke inhaled by the mother are passed on to the child. It can also cause low birth weight, lung problems, and infections in infants. Secondhand smoke is also hazardous for older children. Their bodies are still developing, and the younger they are, the more susceptible they are to pneumonia, ear infections, and bronchitis if they are exposed to it in public places. They are also highly susceptible to asthma attacks. Asthma attacks are perhaps the most well-known health effect of secondhand smoke exposure among children. Secondhand smoke exposure increases the frequency of episodes and the severity of their conditions. The Environmental Protection Agency estimates that 200,000 to 1 million asthmatic children have had their condition worsened by exposure to secondhand smoke. If secondhand smoke is so deadly to children, why are we still allowing people to exhale these toxins at parks, playgrounds, county fairs, and amusement parks? Smoking in public is harmful to the environment in more ways than one. Each year, more than 1 billion pieces of litter will accumulate on Texas highways. Of those, 13% are cigarette butts. That means 130 million cigarette butts will accumulate on Texas highways alone. From this litter, toxic chemicals can seep out and kill animals. They can start costly fires, and they can be ingested by small animals and curious children. According to the American Burn Association, about 900 people in the United States die each year in fires started by cigarettes, and about 2,500 are injured. About 100 of these fire deaths each year are children and non-smokers. Nationally, annual human and property costs of fires caused by careless smoking total about $6 billion. Costly ventilation systems have also been installed in public places such as restaurants and hospitals to secure the area for those that are most at risk, but these ventilation systems are never 100% effective. Secondhand smoke is not good for the environment, and it is definitely not good for the health of American citizens. Earlier this year, Californian health officials estimated that secondhand smoke kills about 3,400 non-smoking Americans a year from lung cancer, 46,000 from heart disease, and 430 from sudden infant death syndrome. Not only will banning smoking in public places prevent these casualties, but it will help reduce the quantities of litter and reduce the risk of fires. Outlawing smoking in public areas will have many positive externalities, and laws need to be implemented for Americans to see that.